Hello world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a picket card reading for blessings coming into your life. And the inspiration behind this for these blessings is kind of that once in a blue moon. Those kind of things that are life-changing, that the energy that's coming in that maybe you thought would never happen, and here we are. And why? Because even though this is a timeless video, so whenever you see this, it is calling for you. But I'm uploading this because right on the blue moon in Pisces, blue supermoon in Pisces, so big time energy. But blue moons, it's a rare shift. It's shifting energy, so that's why I wanted to do blessings coming in, because usually we think of that like once in a blue moon type thing as something very positive. I've already done the readings, and it's interesting, I will say that. I think it's more of kind of like the cards come out as a strategy for you manifesting those blessings. So pick a card reading means that you get to use your intuition to pick the card, the number, the object that is calling to you. Then I have the timestamps down below in the description, and you can click there and I will use my intuition to read the cards for you. As for objects, group number 1, the object here, we're gonna do eggs because things are hatching, right? So this is a green agate egg. I picked it because it goes with this deck. I think the colors go really well. So for group number 2, this is a, look at how cool that is. This is a tiger eye egg. For group number 3, yes, another egg. This is, I got this one, this is orange calcite, and I picked this one for this deck because even though it's black here, the images just are really bright and vivid and pop like that orange calcite. So if you're still not sure which group is for you, that's okay. You can do a breathing exercise with me. In fact, this came up in some of our readings to do a breathing exercise. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Just relax, be here in the moment. We're setting the intentions that you're going to receive the messages you need to hear. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. We're getting our manifestations. We're turning it around. We're making it happen. Okay, take another deep breath in. And release. Be here in this moment. Go ahead and open your eyes. And wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Thank you so much, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1. We have our green agate egg. We have the number 1. We have our Light Seers tarot cards, and we're gonna get one of these cards first, and then we'll get back to our tarot to give us a little bit more information. The first card that comes out for you is number 54, the Sweat Lodge. So I don't know if you've ever, I have done sauna, but I've never done a sweat lodge. It's just this very primal thing. It kind of gets back to our roots. In this card, the sweat lodge is said to be the womb of earth, where we reconnect, where we sit in silence and darkness and stillness. We allow that sweat, kind of like the stuff from the past bubble up, stuff that we've hidden, stuff that we have pushed aside, to actually now be released. So as far as blessings go, you're getting a second chance at something, and it's a gift. The second chance, it may take a little bit of work, probably more introspection than anything else. and sitting in silence. Maybe that I'm hearing sweat equity as well. Putting some physical it's interesting where we're talking about this introspection, but we're doing it in a very physical way to actually release it. Our body and our mind and our emotions and our soul, everything is connected. And if things have not worked so far to release, that's when we need to sit for a moment. I mean, our lives get so crazy and so busy. We're going to meditate on this. This is the time to journey inward into the darkness and hidden places of your soul to reconnect with the ancient earth wisdom. You can also create a sacred and intimate space in the dark by lighting a candle. We have a candle lit here. Observe what emerges without judging it. Invite it to bring you its gifts. So that part, I'm reading from the actual book here for this lovely deck. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And when I saw that part about letting it bring you its gifts, that this gift that we're talking about for you and connection to it is very, again, there's a lot of connections to it, but it's something from your past that's reemerging, that needs your attention, that has been quieted, and the gift is going to be presented to you in moments of silence. Silence, contemplation. I also see that you don't have to sit necessarily in a sweat lodge, but that act of sweating, so primal. Wow, Temperance. So earthy, so grounded. If sitting in silence isn't your jam, certainly being with yourself and your thoughts and using that sweat because you're using your body. So definitely hiking, connecting with the earth. Looks, we have 6 of Pentacles. We've got the 2 of Cups here. This might shine some light on, wow, 7 of Cups. It might shine some light on some imbalance that we have going on. It's really interesting when we've got Temperance here with any 2, actually. We have Temperance upright, and then we've got any 2 that's reversed. For you, it happens to be 2 of Cups, and we've got Pentacles and Cups. So physical and emotional needs need to be balanced when we've got Temperance. You may have been, I wonder if you've been, let me know if you are in a relationship or if you've been thinking about a relationship. 2 of Cups is actually like the best relationship card that we have in tarot, in my opinion. However, when we have it in reverse, we're kind of looking at relationships and we're looking at our options here with the 7 of Cups. And 7 of Cups would indicate that you have a lot of options. But the problem with having a lot of options is if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what your values are, what you are looking for, then yeah, you're going to match with a ton of people. But nothing is going to bring you happiness until you are in touch with yourself, until you have this balance with yourself. And right now it feels like there's things kind of out of balance in your emotional needs, in what you're looking. It almost feels like when we have the 2 of Cups reversed, you're looking for a partner to fix you. And that's not their role. Like, you can, and probably if you've been meeting like that same type of person, you might be in a relationship, but you're meeting like that same type of friend who always takes advantage of you, or you have that same kind of boss where they tell you that you're going to, you know, get all of these achievements, or you're up for that promotion, and then it never comes to fruition. That it's actually something that you need to connect with yourself, like your own expectations, because you keep meeting the same archetype of people for a reason, to learn a lesson. So I know that doesn't necessarily sound like a blessing, but what I'm telling you is this over here, the Temperance and the Six of Pentacles, kind of helps break this open with these almost kind of sadness when we've got the Two of Cups in reverse, because we want people to, like, look at this Six of Pentacles. This is a reciprocation of energies. This is the back and forth of energies. Temperance is this allowance. And then, we've got this really beautiful flow of energy here until we get into our expectations, probably, of our relationships, or our expectations of our job situation. And it's almost like we have things on autopilot, and we're just expecting it to work out the best for us, and that's not what's been happening. And we don't know why, but I know why. It's because we've got it on autopilot, and you need to step up and direct it to the way that it needs to go. I can't tell you the way it needs to go. You have to tell you the way that it needs to go. And if you're confused and you don't know where your compass is, and you don't know what north is, you're going to see all these options, and you're just going to pick stuff. See, there's a snake here, there's a wing here, of like maybe not the most pleasant things, because you don't know yourself. And the blessing here that's coming for you is like an upgrade or a connection that's deeper with yourself. It is maybe boundaries with other people, like it's hard. I want to say assertive. Assertive keeps coming up here, but it's asserting you. And when you don't know what to assert, you don't know where to go. And what I mean by that is, like in a work situation, again, so many times we let other people guide us, and kind of in a work situation, when we're trading our time for money, that is kind of the deal that we make, that we're going to show up and we're going to be available to do what they ask us to do for that time period. But when I see the Two of Cups here, and that's our conversation that we're having of the work situation, there's something off. Like there's been promises made and broken. I just feel like there's very much in your feelings here of something broken. So we have to kind of go back here to the beginning. Go back. That's what's interesting, that this comes up, the sweat lodge, and that it's and I like the bulbousness here, the womb of the earth. We need to get back to practicalities. I think we need to get back to our own expectations. We need to get back to our own goals, and then go, you know what, this job is not what I thought it would be. I thought that I would love to do this. It's not working out. I thought that this is the type of person that I would love to date, and it's not working out. I thought that, there's a lot of assumptions here, especially in the Seven of Cups. When you have choices, how do you narrow down choices? You look at your hierarchy of value. Because I do feel like there's a lot of lovely things coming in for you, and the Seven of Cups says there is. But how do you figure out what is a waste of your time and what is really what you need to be pursuing, what you need to be allowing, what comes for you? We get take time to breathe out. Just disseminating moon. So I love that, because also, like, Temperance, I mean, there's not a lot of action going on in these cards. There's a lot of stillness. There's a lot of quietness. There's a lot of allowing and not blocking your own energy. And I just feel like it's more of a blocking your energy with expectations. I think that taking moments to breathe and release tension and negative emotions is really great. I also see, like with the Sweat Lodge and the Two of Cups here, sometimes we don't fully deal with an ex or a breakup, and then all of a sudden, and it's interesting this is coming up here right now when we're in, you know, if you're watching this video, all my videos are timeless, but also this happens all the freaking time, is Mercury in retrograde, Venus in retrograde. These things really highlight, they have a way of bringing back things that we haven't dealt with. And your gift here is dealing with it and releasing it so that you can actually move on and move forward. And then we get the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So this is exactly what we want to see. A lot of times we think that if we stop, we get off this merry-go-round for a moment, we're never going to get back on, or we don't have time to stop because I have all these things to do and I need to get it done now. But really, you need to collect yourself. You need to take a moment. You need to take a break. You need to relax. You need to sit in quiet contemplation. And that is in itself a gift, to sit with yourself, enjoy your own company, and the momentum will come, the choices will come. There are a lot of choices coming at you. There's going to be a lot of choices coming at you, but you're not going to be able to decide what it is that you really, really want until you sit, you figure out who you really, really are. Look at this, imagine. And mending. Oh, I love mending. I love mending here with the Six of Pentacles. I love mending here with the Sweat Lodge. I love that we have these two little angels here working on it. Look, we've got Temperance Angel. I just really feel like the gifts, it's not something that you need to work hard on. It's just allowing. And then what comes up when you're thinking, like, I do feel like there's a feeling of the past here that's coming up, like, and I think there's a lot of forgiveness, and it's not necessarily you forgiving other people, sure. Remember, I was talking about, you know, possibly this ex is coming up. Like you haven't thought about somebody in years, and then all of a sudden they pop into your mind. It's also the allowance of you to move forward from that. Sometimes we have these special labels that we give people, the one who got away, or I'd like to have that one back, or I'd like to do something over again. Like we have these things, and mending is that forgiveness of that moment for whatever happened between you, and releasing it and letting go. Like that's the Sweat Lodge, the letting it go through nature, letting it go through like your physical experiences. I know that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. You might, because we do have a way of letting our body hang on to emotions that we have trapped in our body. So becoming aware of the areas in your body that hurt. When you say things like pain in the ass, like when you call somebody that, your body can be very literal, and you can have a literal, like, you might need to be stretching that sciatic, or not sciatic, it's, if you have sciatica, there's like this spot, it's the piriformis. You might be needing to stretch that piriformis, spin, you know, hot yoga, this movement of release and actually cutting the cords to those negative things that are holding you back. And again, like I said, I just really feel like there's a lot of momentum that comes with the release. of all those things. And then imagine. I love this card, and we're going to end with this card because look at how this person is like roping in that moon. What is your wildest dreams? And I kind of feel like, you know, you're needing a blessing, you're wanting a blessing, you're looking for this gift. It's not coming. It's because you haven't been casting your net towards the future. I feel like, well, these cards are talking about things that have happened in the past and things that are interrupting your flow, and it's that past that needs to happen. It all starts with this sweat lodge. It all starts with the release and the forgiveness and the letting go and this said something about a candle as well. And I have a candle here. One of my favorite things to do is write these things down. When your mind keeps going over and over and over again, especially something that has happened in the past, write it down. Attach those feelings to it. Your feelings are really important, right? We're balancing out our physical and our emotional states here. Write down the feelings, like, I felt like this when this happened. You scared me, you hurt me, you made me sad, you made me cry. But now I am who I am looking at this. I'm a better person, I'm stronger because of this. And releasing it, I let it go. And then I like to burn it in the flame. And that can help you then start imagining your better future. Start imagining. I know it's really harsh when somebody says, you're somebody I wish I never met, but you only wish that when you have that emotional connection to them. I think that's in a Morgan Wallen song where he sings about like things not being over. It's like, no, it's over. It's over. But I don't wish I never met you. I'm glad I met you. I'm glad for the lessons that you taught me. I'm glad for what you taught me about myself. I'm stronger, and now I am just allowing, because there's just a lot of like the blessings that are coming. And the Six of Pentacles is very physical blessings, and it's really interesting how we've been talking about like the emotional attachments here. It's really interesting how releasing those emotional attachments and emotional baggage now allow you, because your mind is now working on the physical blessings, the monetary things coming in for you. And it's the Temperance is here because the Temperance is a flow. A Temperance is a very quiet, allowing energy that allows things to flow. It allows things from your imagination to come into you. So yes, there is some work that needs to be done for these blessings. We just discussed all that work that's attached to it. But physical blessings that are of your imagination, and so many choices coming your way. So it's important that you get your mind right at this moment, so that when they come, that it's not just a repeat of a negative archetype that we've lived before. So thank you so much for being here, Group 1. I hope that this was helpful to you. Let me know, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. Here is our Tiger Eye and the number 2, and then our lovely Mystic Melodies deck, which we will put here just to the side for a second, because our first card is from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and the first card that comes out for you is the Crow. So the Crow is about truth. Oh, also lucky number 13. It seemed like there was somebody who I ran into recently that their lucky number was 13, a historical figure. Wednesday Addams is coming to mind, but I'm not sure that that's who it is. Anyway, let me know if you know somebody who says their lucky number is 13. I think it's a lucky number. I think it's a beautiful number. And I think that is also about embracing kind of like the darkness in ourselves, but not being afraid of that. The crow speaks the truth. The crow is all about truth. I think that there is a strength in that. So for you, blessing wise, we see leadership, we see strength, we see truth, we see somebody speaking the truth, somebody like that truth will set you free. So there's a lot of freedom as well. The crow is the keeper of the universal law, the law of truth. Crow teaches us to walk our talk, to find congruence between who we say we are and who we really know ourselves to be. And I think there's a lot of bravery in that. This winged one insists that we speak truth, that we create truth inside instead of searching for it. So you're a creator, co-creating things. I feel like there's a lot of creative energy here. There's a lot of like super strength, a lot of strength. And we bring truth to every situation that we find ourselves in. That is hard to do. It's so much easier to just tell people what they want to hear. But I just see that it's not, sometimes we feel like our view of the world or the way we see the world is just unique to us, especially when we feel, I love that word congruence. When we feel like we're kind of left, wow, Three of Cups reversed, kind of left out of things. There might be some friends that are not here for that. They might be, I laugh because I get the sad squirrel. If you've never seen the sad squirrel before, you're not alone. This is unique to this particular deck. Anyway, what I was talking about is it's not a bad thing though to surround yourselves with people. You don't have to surround yourself with everybody who has the same kind of background as you, religion, culture, insights. What is true diversity is diversity of thought, and speaking the truth is what is paramount and what is most important. Three of Cups reversed. This is people. It's interesting. I'm just going to show you both these cards together because you see how we have people dancing here, but we have it reversed, and we have the Four of Wands dancing here, but we have it upright. So it's kind of like this. This tension between things. I almost see the Three of Cups here that we have reversed is false friends, false people. This is your gift for purging them from your life. I'm sorry. I know sometimes we feel like, a few just really good friends is better than a bunch of people that you have to pretend around. So I think that's the first message here is that it's not so much, worried about picking a fight with people who aren't going to respect you. I think they're going to move on their own, and you might find in the course of speaking your truth, you're going to find true friends. 4 is also a number of stability. So we go from 3 of Cups to 4 of Wands. Cups is emotions. We have a little bit more logic involved here when we're speaking truth. It's sometimes the truth hurts. I mean, that wouldn't be a saying if it wasn't true. So just really looking into the shadows of things, but it's such a release for you and a relief. And you're finding joy along the way. The 4 of Wands can also talk about it's a celebration. So, but it can talk about a wedding. If this were a love reading, I'd be like, oh, we're having a wedding. We're purging the non-friends who aren't happy for us, and we're moving on into a very positive place in our life. For Wands is a suit of action. So it's taking action and actively going out and doing things and just being really happy with who you are because you have made friends with yourself. And once that, the beginning again, you might see a lot of false friends fall off. And sometimes that's really sad because you're like, oh, but it's, you're going to see like people's true colors, and that, unfortunately, I know that's kind of sad. It's a gift. That is a gift to do that. Then we have the Fool reversed, and then we've got the Sad Squirrel. So I think the Fool, I love the Fool card, by the way. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's probably my favorite card in the deck. If I don't like the Fool card in a tarot deck, I'm not gonna generally like the tarot deck. I think it's such like optimism and potential, but you have it in reverse. That doesn't mean that those things aren't there. It just means that you're a little wiser here. I don't want to say that the Fool doesn't have integrity, but it's not necessarily something the Fool thinks about, integrity. And you're putting integrity and truth above all else. You are, and the haters, again, like I just feel like this Three of Cups and the Sad Squirrel are very much related. Haters gonna hate. They hate us because they ain't us. That's that is kind of what's coming through with the Sad Squirrel in reverse. And in the past, before this strength of this crow, before this like really dancing with yourself, and those, trust me, the truth is going to attract those with similar values as you. But in the past, you would look at what you've lost, these friends, these false friends that are they don't, for whatever reason, they haven't looked at, wow, step out of your comfort zone. But they haven't, they don't want to see the truth in themselves. So when they see the beautiful bright light of you, like they can't handle it. I also feel like the Sad Squirrel, the Sad Squirrel here, you see him, he's like clearly not happy. You don't let somebody drag you down into their own thing, okay? And that happens so often. Like if somebody wants to have a bad day and they've made up their mind to do that, that's on them. Wow. Okay, so step out of your comfort zone. The truth might have you step out of your comfort zone. And when we have got like the Three of Cups here, when we have surrounded ourselves with false friends, and that's so easy to do these days with social media and just really, but the crow says that you are the person that you are projecting to be online. Whether good, bad, ugly, you're okay with that. It's not always happy, happy, joy, joy. It's not always, you're gonna have those, what are they, unpopular opinions, and that's okay. What you're going to attract is people who are into that, who really like that. And it might be you stepping out of your comfort zone to do that. And that's okay. Again, I just see a lot of strength when we do that. And then we get Leo, full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. And I feel like this is here for a couple things, because sometimes when we want to walk with integrity, when we want to live our life with truth, when we're seeking truth, we have to question our values. We have to question the things that we've thought about before, and our ego or our pride a lot of times can't handle that. Like there's an internal struggle that can happen when and I guarantee somebody who they know they're wrong, they're wrong, but they are set in their way just because of out of pride and out of ego, because they can't admit that they're wrong. And they do all of these mental gymnastics to prove to themselves that they're right. Deep down, they know they're wrong. And when we're like that, and I've been there, it's a very sad place. It's not this joy of the Four of Wands that we see. It's not this strength of the Crow. And then Leo also is connected to the Strength card in Tarot. So that's why I was like, wow, when I saw the Leo, oh, breathe. That's interesting. That came out for not the same card, but these cards had a card that said breathe in the last reading, because I feel like there's just a lot of strength that needs to happen. And all of this is just a quiet strength. A strength of your mind. I also love this breathe in the fact of, like, look at her. She's on her own island. She's on her own lily pad. She's tranquil. She's not allowing this person who has decided to have a bad day to interrupt her day. Her day is her day. Your day is your day. The other thing I see here too is sometimes when we are empaths, sometimes when we connect with other people's energies, you can be an observer of somebody's energy, just because it's nice to be empathic to people. It's nice to understand where they're coming from, but you don't have to take on their negative energy. You don't have to take on those negative traits. You can release it. You can put a boundary around yourself and others that their negativity is not going to impact you. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from the situation, especially if it's somebody who is like your partner and they're just having a bad day. You need to communicate. You don't have to be mean about it, but like, listen, I can't handle this right now. I'm gonna go take a walk. I will be back. It's not as bad as you think. Maybe you should take a walk. Maybe you should connect with nature. Maybe you should discuss, do your feelings, but you can't dump this negativity on me. And then I love this time for a nap, because I also think that dreaming is big. And then look, I love the gold and the moons here. We have blue over here, we have gold over here. I think that it's, just another signal that we're on the right path here with these cards. So many times, have you ever heard the expression of sleep on it? And I also feel like, you just put your foot down, set your boundaries, and then let that speak for itself. You don't have to do anything more. You don't have to engage. You don't have to hate. You don't have to, nope, I'm not going to talk to you when you're like this, or I'm removing myself from this situation, or, you do you, I'm doing me. I'm going to be at peace. And I feel like there's a lot of peace here in this strength, which is interesting, because at first when you think about, of course the truth will set you free. Of course we want to work with integrity, but a lot of times when we understand that people can't handle the truth and we're just trying to get along and we don't want to make any waves, we think that once we do start speaking the truth, once we do start pointing out things with integrity, once we do start living our best life, like actually action, going out and enjoying ourselves, because that is what we're supposed to do, not what we're being programmed to do, that actually creates a lot of peace. It doesn't create, these people could be irritated and they could want to try to pick a fight with you. They could want to try to, because you'll see that all the time on social media, but you don't have to engage. You just let your integrity and your truth speak for itself, and let it go. Take a nap. Take a break, take a rest. You don't always have to be doing things. You can just relax, especially when things get overwhelming. So That's interesting. I didn't, it's fun when I decide, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do these readings about blessings, but I mean, the cards come out and they have the message that they have. So let me know how this resonates for you. That your blessing is truth, that your blessing is strength, that your blessing is, getting out of this comfort zone. That can be tiring a little bit. That can be uncomfortable, but in the end, like, the whole thing is just, I just feel like a very huge sense of peace here. And it's nice when you don't have to pretend around other people. And I just, of the blessings that I've, thought before reading, I didn't think like this peace and truth would come up as a blessing, but here we are. And I mean, it feels good for me. I hope it feels good for you. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. We have this beautiful orange calcite, and then the number 3, and then this is our Mystic Mondays cards, which I'm just going to put over here for a moment because the first card that comes out is from our Mystical Shaman Oracle card, and for you we have Thunder. Look how pretty this card is. We've got like these, I would say, mystical buffalo running through the sky, creating thunder. So a couple messages with this card. First of all, drama. We're releasing drama, we're letting it go. And it's kind of like an awareness of drama that there might be those certain friends and that who knew you when you were a different version of you, a younger version of you, that you get together and then you just, the only thing that you talk about is drama things, about problems. And maybe it's fun or maybe it's not fun, and that's fun, it's time to like mutate that relationship a little bit and talk about solutions to the drama. I mean, drama, again, I feel like drama can be fun, but when it's holding you back, that is not so much fun. The other thing about this deck and about thunder is it's really interesting. Like, legend speaks of great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. They warn when tension in a situation are called upon to be released. So, when you're in a situation and it's just, I almost feel like, if you've ever plate tectonics, if you've ever thought about plate tectonics, I know this is going weird places, but that fault in California, and the tension just rises and rises and rises until something happens and something slips. But that happens with us too. That happens with people, where it just gets to a point where something needs to change. That's why I kind of talked about drama a little bit here. And this is, I love the sky beings in this card, but specifically when this card comes in, it refers to, because change can be very dramatic, and it feels like a herd of wild buffalo are on the run, and I love that idea of thinking about wild buffalo when we hear thunder in the sky. But this is your call. This is your wake-up call. Things are about to change. It can be pretty dramatic. And while we're going through it, I know this is a reading about blessings, but while we're going through it, it may not feel like a blessing at all. It might feel like a curse, because change can kind of feel like that, especially when it shakes us up. However, this is something that you feel in your bones that may need to change, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. So this is destiny calling. This is big things moving. This is a moment of tension, and you've detected that tension because you know that things aren't right. This is time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with these buffalo. Qualities that you'll need now are flexibility, dexterity, and willingness to experience it all without dictating or without distracting from the opportunities that will come. So huge moment right now, huge blessings, huge opportunities, but it can kind of be scary. And we are looking for, again, like I said, we're looking at this with solutions rather than sometimes these events happen and we want to sit with our friends and complain about them. Wow, look at these. Okay, so we get the Two of Wands reversed, we get the Nine of Pentacles reversed, we have the Moon upright, and we have the Fool upright. So interesting with the Moon and the Fool. These are major arcana cards, which you know, they're major energy. When we have the Two of Wands reversed and the Two of Pentacles reversed, I think this is where we're talking about our tension, where we have been putting attention towards our work situation, when we think that we can do certain things and it's just not working out. When we have this we're like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this path, or I'm going to try this path, or I'm going to try this path, because the Nine of Pentacles is something that we want to do. And the Two of Wands is about creating that plan and putting into action and doing things. And we're doing things in the physical, we're doing things in our work situation, and that you just aren't feeling like you're getting ahead. So I feel like this is kind of where we are right now. Instead of complaining about that, because it's so easy to complain about it, we've got remember, the thunder is like, yeah, it's a big change. And this energy, this tension, this, what you've been putting towards it, this kind of almost heartbreak that it isn't working out when you've been working so hard, that tension is coming in and it's about to shift. The Moon, how is it going to shift? We're not really sure, and we can't really predict it, because the Moon is more about, you know, when we think about the moon in the sky, even when it is a full super moon that really illuminates things, we don't see everything clearly. We have to kind of take a look through, not only with our eyes, but a look through it with our intuition. We're allowing our intuition to guide us. Almost a surrender, I think, as well. I also see the Moon as often an evolution in how we approach things. Because usually it's kind of like this crawfish kind of crawling out of the water. And then there are two dogs here. There's two paths. We have a path of drama, as this Thunder card was talking about, or a path of greatness, a path towards solutions, a path to like, yeah, I'm not ignoring that these are issues in my life, but I'm also not glorifying them. I'm not talking about them every chance I get. I'm not indulging it. I'm not using that to get attention, but then it keeps me in this spot where I never feel like I gain anything. Remember that flexibility, that dexterity, the solutions. You don't know if it's going to work out. We don't know. We've never been here before. This is uncharted territory. Things are shifting, and that's okay. We're trusting in ourselves and trust in your internal compass and guidance. And then it's interesting because like the Moon situation, we're sitting here contemplating, like the Fool is full of potential. The Fool came up in the last reading as well, and I said there that the Fool is probably my favorite card in the entire tarot deck. If I don't like the Fool card, I'm not going to like the deck, because it's so wonderful in the innocence, in the joy, in the excitement of new potential and possibilities that are headed for you. It's getting excited about it. Like, she is so excited about this day, and that she's almost ready to jump off this cliff. But remember, you do need to pick a direction. And I also see, like, especially with this moon and this Fool, there is a saying about, you know, when you take a step, God steps with you. So it's almost like a reinvigoration of faith, a reinvigoration of your path, and finding a new way. Surrender to the divine, full moon. And we also get balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. That is interesting because all my readings are timeless, but if you're watching this when I'm uploading it, we actually have a super full blue moon in Pisces going on right now. This is harnessing yourself with that energy. Now, Pisces is a water sign, and other than the moon, which talks about our intuition, I'm not seeing any other water kind of go on here. So I feel like, because usually we have to question our emotions when we're around Pisces. But Pisces is like the oldest sign. It's been around the block. So it's very mature. So I love when we have a little bit of maturity here with the Fool, because the Fool can be very immature and do things that are just, that don't make sense, that don't have logic behind it, that, yes, we have great potential, but we're not really worried about the outcome. I also kind of feel like the Two of Wands is really interesting as well when we have the Fool over here, because the Two of Wands is about putting those plans in place and planning and planning and planning. But it's Wands, so we need to take action on it. So I almost feel like you might have had some plans that you never feel like you're ready. Like, you're planning and planning and planning, but you never feel like you're ready to execute it. And the thunder, the moon, the Fool, the full moon in Pisces, the surrender to the divine. Look, we've got 2 full moons here. This is all saying that trust yourself. You're never going to be fully ready for anything. And in fact, sometimes we plan and plan and plan, and the more we plan, the less ready we are, because without putting something into action, without going after what we want, we don't even know what we need to plan for. So very much a lot of action, a lot of like the surrender to the divine. I love, because the thunder too, I just feel like there's a lot of like the gift here is a lot of divine intervention on your behalf. And once you like let go of the negative attachments, wow, it's all there. So I'm saying wow because all that glitters is we start off with the 9 of Pentacles, working, can't figure it out. So the blessing is like financial stability from a period of, and it's confidence in yourself as well, because it's the 9 of Pentacles is like one of the best cards in the deck. I love this card when it's upright. It is you, the self-made person, creating wealth for yourself. And this is just saying, like, don't give up on it, but trust in the universe has a plan for you, trust in the divine, and riches and wealth and stability come in for you big time. And then I love deep knowing as well. We have the owl, very much connected to the moon. So many moons here. And there's 2 moons here. A lot of moons, a lot of lunar energy, a lot of trusting in things that you can't, you just have the inner knowing, the intuition, that deep knowing. Also very wise energy, and I love the wise energy. I love the full moon over Pisces as well with this Fool card, because again, on its own, like, the Fool card is lovely and so happy and joyous, but I feel like there's a little bit more maturity to it, to this great potential that you have coming in here, group 3, than normally. Because even though you can have something that has great potential but it fails, that's just a learning experience. This is trusting that journey, allowing it to flow with the thunder, go with those buffalo, because you're not going to stand there in front of them and stop them. There's no stopping them. Things have been put into motion, and it's following your path of intuition, following what you know is right for you, and allowing more than forcing it. Some days we wake up and we know it's just things have happened. We know it's going to be a bad day. Just allow it and what comes with it. When we know it's going to be a good thing, and it used to be, I'm just having this vision of myself in middle school. It was like, when I had a good hair day, I knew it was going to be a good day. But I also feel like there's a little bit more to this with this deeper knowing, and a little bit more to this with this maturity, that there are certain steps that you can take where you know it's going to be a good day. And maybe it is when you wake up right away, you follow your routine to set you up into having that good day, and to set you up into that flow. Making sure you eat right away, making sure that you take care of yourself, making sure you're hydrated, like all of those lovely basics. It's crazy because, yeah, of course, those are the things we need to do, but those are often the things we overlook when we're trying to conquer the world here. So that's what I have for you, group 3. So amazing cards here. So just surrender to the divine. We're just allowing. There's nothing that is making you, there's nothing that you're being called to do. There's no like steps of you need to do this, and this. Well, other than release drama, I suppose, and look for solutions. But I feel like these things are going to just come to you very easily and flow to you. And then, it can be kind of scary when we decide to put things into action and we're out of our comfort zone, and that's okay. We're trusting in divine guidance here. So look for those synchronicities as well, because I think that will help you when you're not comfortable in a situation. You're like, oh, okay, I see an owl, I hear an owl, I know I'm on the right path, I'm going to keep going, trusting in this process. So very interesting, group 3. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading.